Welcome back in a real way. Let me shout out them Ether Boys. They had me on this show, and I had a ball, man. Hood, Maddie, Harris. Them niggas is a bunch of fun, man. We was in there just fooling out, and I don't know. I love them niggas. They they got a good show going on over there. And one of the topics that we had talked about um, before we started recording was I was explaining to them my theory of how um, society is really women. And what I mean by that is nowadays there's a catchphrase that goes along with women not having to be accountable for some of the things that they do, a lot of the things that they do. And uh, that catchphrase is society. Anytime something is going on and they want to like kind of sidestep any type of responsibility, they can blame society. But what I realized is society really is women. It's just a euphemism. And the way I came up with that is there are more women than there are men, so they have the numbers. And even if men are in position of authority or power, men only do things for the access, influence, or access, um, acceptability, access, acceptance, and under the influence of women. So not only do y'all have the numbers, y'all have the influence. So even when you look at the standards, quote unquote, that exist, be they double standards or what have you, when you look at who benefits from them, it's usually women. For example, um, the whole concept of men being more valuable to society if they're popular amongst women. That's not no good for men because that means it's a few men that's going to get access to all the women. That's good for women though because they can get basically they can determine who's the player. They get a nigga who is basically sexually experienced. You know what I mean? And they get the uh, social currency of being chosen by the one who all the women want. Keep that in mind. The flip side is, women, if they do the same thing, they're looked at a certain type of way. By whom? Other women. Not by men. Because let women say, hoes be out here winning. You know what I mean? So it's by women because those same women, we're dealing with mating games. If those women are chosen by most men, that means that the majority of women are being overlooked by those same men. So if those men had access or a chance with the one girl that is, the equivalent of the Mac in men, those other women wouldn't have no chance. They wouldn't have no opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And you can see that even in how they interact amongst their friends. Like women who have that more pretty friend, that more, um, that friend that gets chose more than the rest of y'all get chose. Y'all treat her a certain type of way, and it just is what it is. And you can act like you don't, but you do. Um, I remember when I was growing up, there was girls that used to get beat up because they was too pretty. So that just goes to show you, like, y'all didn't want, y'all really have a visceral reaction to, you know, women who are more attractive than you are. Um, another reason you can tell that societal standard is based upon the women is anything regular, like any regular task performed by a man is just a regular task performed by a man. But if a woman does it, there's like some extra thrown on it. So like, I was saying on the show, like, if a man has a job and like a car or something like that, that's just regular shit. It's basics. But if a woman has that, she's considered successful. It's interesting. Um, Women are allowed and accepted or tolerated to be verbally, emotionally, and physically abusive. And if a man says anything or responds in kind, he's the bad guy. He's always supposed to take a certain type of road that, allows him to be abused. You know what I mean? Or if a woman is abusive, then it's like, she's just a strong will. She's just strong. Okay. She's obnoxious. You know what I'm saying? But if I say she's obnoxious, then it's like, oh, well, you just a weak black man, or, whatever y'all come up with. But in all actuality, if she was a man and she was obnoxious, I would punch him in his fucking face. But that's neither here nor there. Those behaviors exhibited by women, are acceptable. Um, oh, how you claim to be sexually repressed, but you can dress as sexy as you want. You can wear your titties out, like your cleavage and shit. Um, Homosexuality is far more accepted amongst women than it is amongst men. Um, Even sex toys, you're not shamed for having sex toys, but we clown men for using sex toys all the time. Like the fucking blow up doll is a big ass joke in damn near every show. You know what I'm saying? So how you can express yourself in all those sexual ways, yet you're repressed. Societal standard. And I'm realizing these standards are really to police men and to equal the playing field between ugly women and pretty women. And you can chop that up how you like. I guess it's for access to men. Um, what else? Prostitution being illegal. Prostitution being illegal proves that that is to equal the playing field um, between ugly women and pretty women, because if it was legal, then men would just pay for the attention of the pretty women that we want to be around instead of having to entertain the mediocre or, everybody else, shooting our shot all day long, getting rejected by bitches who a lot of times be beneath us. You know what I mean? But that's just the name of the game. These are societal standards. We don't complain. I'm just pointing out what it is. You know what I mean? And here's the biggest kicker: the fact that it's legal for women to force parenthood upon men shows that these standards are created by women. Because if they were created by men, you would be free to not have to father a kid that you didn't want. It just is what it is. Um, you have some people, women, who complain that society's beauty standard is European or whatever, and even that's some bullshit, because the only reason it's European is because y'all want to look like white women. But the wild thing is, for the most part of the last maybe 2 to 3 decades, the top black women who seem to be, well, not top black women, but the top white women who seem to be the Kardashians, have all been getting clowned for adopting black women's style. So if they are the ones dictating beauty standard, and they want to be black women, that means that black women are the beauty standard. So you can't even complain and say, uh, we dress like this because men. This is what men like. No, y'all dress like that because y'all compete with one another. Y'all like dressing up. Y'all like playing pretend. Y'all like trying out different looks, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to blame that shit on us. When a motherfucker try to call you out and be like, yo, I'd much rather you, look how you supposed to look. Mm. I mean, it is what it is, man. Y'all, somebody feel different. Feel free to try to counter what I'm saying, but I've been saying doing this for a while. I've thought it all the way through, and I've even fought the adverse to try to find some type of holes in it, and there really ain't none. So what it boils down to is if women are the standard and women dictate the standard, if they have a problem with the standard, then they need to change it because they have the influence and they have the numbers to do so. I know y'all don't like to hear that because that means you're responsible, but it's I'm just empowering you. I'm letting you know. Use that black girl magic. One.